Hey everyone, it's Maya again, and welcome back to Piers Park Sailing Center. This video is for Level 3 sailors learning about marine science. Today we'll be going over land breezes, sea breezes, and clouds. Have you ever thought about how wind works? Basically, breezes happen when there's a pressure difference in the air. The air molecules in hot air have a lot of energy, so they expand. Because the molecules are less dense, there isn't much pressure. So we can think of hot air as having low pressure. Cold air molecules have less energy, so they contract. They become denser and sink. This means that cold air has high pressure. Air always wants to travel from high to low pressure, so the result of cold air traveling to an area with warm air is wind. Now that we know that, let's talk about sea breezes. During the day, the sun heats up the ocean and the land. But water takes much longer to heat up than land, so the land will feel hot while the water will feel relatively colder. As a result, the air above the land will be hot with low pressure, and the air above the water will be relatively cold with high pressure. This creates a pressure difference, with high pressure traveling to low pressure. The hot air will continue to rise and expand into where the cold air once was, and it becomes cold itself. And the cold air will move over the land and become hot. This cycle happens over and over again during the day. Notice that the direction of air movement goes from the sea to the land. And we know that winds are named by where they blow from. So this is called a sea breeze. But this changes at night when the sun isn't out anymore. Now we have land breezes. The sea has absorbed and held onto a lot of the sun's heat from the day, so the air over the water is relatively hot. The land lets go of heat easily, so now the air above the land is relatively cold. Again, the air will move from high to low pressure. Now the air is traveling in the reverse direction, with the cold air from the land moving towards the sea, and the warm air expanding into where the cold air once was. The cycle continues until the sun comes out again. Because the air is traveling from the land to the sea, we call this a land breeze. Land and sea breezes contribute to cloud formation. When warm air rises high enough, it cools down into ice crystals, which are what clouds are made of. If you see clouds with flat bottoms, it's because the hot air keeps pushing up and up against the cloud, making it grow bigger and bigger. These types of clouds with puffy tops but flat bottoms are called cumulus clouds. If you see cumulus clouds in the sky, it means that it'll be a good weather day. But at some point, if the cloud gets really tall and dense with ice crystals, it becomes a cumulonimbus cloud, which usually means bad stormy weather. These cumulonimbus clouds are really dark because they're filled with water, so expect rain. Stratus clouds are clouds that hang low in the sky. If it's a very foggy day, the fog is probably a stratus cloud. These kinds of clouds usually mean there will be a light drizzle, but sometimes there isn't any precipitation at all. Cirrus clouds are just the opposite, since they're extremely high up in the sky. While they're up there, cirrus clouds indicate good weather, but they often suggest that the weather will be stormy later on. So it's a good idea to check the clouds before you go sailing. That's it for clouds and breezes. I hope I'll see you in the next Science of Sailing video.